Hi friends, it's Pam with Silver and Sparkles, and we are going to make another flippy kind of folio. And this one, I really think, if I'm remembering correctly, you can make it with kind of 2+ pieces of paper, 8.5 by 11. We'll see how we do. I was picking paper based on the different patterns and things that I wanted, but this one is economical because it's only a few pieces of paper, but I think it has a nice wow factor. So this opens up like this, and there's a pocket, and I do that a lot with my folios. I just put like a little card in there using one of the journal pages from this kit. This is the Autumn Charm, available in my Etsy shop. But yeah, I love doing this kind of side pocket. It gives the cover some nice structure, and then you have that nice, lovely pocket. And then this lifts up like this. And look, all this journaling space. I left it because I wanted this one to be one you could write in, but of course you could collage, add pockets, different things if you'd like to. And then there's this nice pocket here, and I love this image, and I've been wanting to put it somewhere. And then I also made a journaling card to go in this big side load pocket that's located right here. So it is simple, but I like the different flips. I like how it feels, and just love the papers. I love making fall folios and gifts and things because fall is my favorite season. So let's make one. Hopefully I can remember everything that I did. All right. I don't know if you guys can tell, I cleaned my mat. So I'm feeling excited about that. Okay, for the cover, I'm going to use the same piece of paper, and I cut this to 10.5 inches by 7.5. So I cut the white border off when I printed it. I printed on both sides, and then I had to, cut it down to the 7.5. That was the height I wanted the folio to be. So we have a simple score, and I've definitely lost the tool that goes with this. So we're just going to use one of my bone folders. It will be fine. Okay, on that 10.5 inch side, you need to know, which piece you want to be your covers when you fold it over. So I'm actually going to turn it with the inside facing up. Okay. And that first score is going to be at 1.5 inches. And then the second score will be at 6 inches. So pay attention to how you put your paper in, because when I fold this over on the 2 score lines, now it opens up. If I had done it the other way, the pocket would have been on the back cover, which is okay too, but I really wanted mine on the front cover. All right. I guess I could have told you to score at 4.5 and 9. I don't know which is easier. I don't know. I'm going to put the measurements and the scoring in the description, and I'm going to say put what you want on the cover face down. Okay. That's what you need to remember. Okay, I always put the measurements and the scoring in, but I don't really explain, and so I guess if you don't watch the video. Anyway, that could be a problem. All right, so that was super easy, right? So let's go ahead, and I'm going to use my tea dye Distress ink, and I'm going to go ahead and glue that pocket down and get this ready for the next pieces. Gluing the pocket down just kind of gets it out of my way and reminds me what I'm doing. Score that a little bit better. Okay. Welcome. I'm so glad you guys are here. Thank you for spending a few minutes with me. I hope you're still enjoying the fall projects. I mean, we're still in September, so the whole fall crafting season is just still ahead of us. I'm so excited. Okay, this is going to be the cover, which we'll add something like one of the sentiments like I did before, but we're going to go ahead and just glue this pocket down. Now on my other one, I kind of had it come up. I brought the glue up some. I'm gonna be a little closer to the top and bottom this time, and I'll just decide as I go. I can always get a smidge of glue in there if I want to shorten up the pocket. All right, fabulous. Okay, set that aside. The next thing we're going to need to do is pick the paper that we're going to use for the inside flaps. So we need to cut a piece that measures 4 1/4 by 6 1/2. And I picked my other one, you know, based on the image that I wanted to use. And I used, what did I use? This little table and chairs, like kind of inviting you to come sit down and have a cup of coffee or a glass of wine, it looks like, right? So I think for this one, I've used this in the last journal I made with this kit, and I love those flowers, but I think I'm going to use this tree. So again, I want the flap portion to be 4 1/4. If I just cut it off, you know, it's too wide. So I'm going to go ahead, chop some of the tree, and then let's see when we get to that 4 1/4. Yeah, I probably didn't need to chop quite as much of the tree as I did, but that's okay. And then 6 1/2. This is going to be the bottom of that flip, so cut off from the top, or again, whatever paper you're using. You know, if there's an image that you want to use, you just want it to be 4 1/4 by 6 1/2. All right. And we're going to use this piece definitely, and you know, maybe that piece, but I'll let the tiny sliver go. Now this piece, we are going to score on the 6 1/4 inch side. We're going to score it at a 1/2 inch, and I'm just going to do it with my ruler. Not everybody has a scoreboard, and sometimes I've shown you guys this. Sometimes I forget to, but you can just hold. I'm using the grid to mark my 1/2 inch. I'm just using my metal ruler and my bone folder, and I have a score. Okay. That does not look straight on this side, but this side it looks pretty straight. You kind of fix it. Let's see. Which happens, right? Okay. Let's grab this. Now, I am going to go ahead and just cut these a little bit. I just don't want to risk, you know, seeing that under here, because I'm going to glue it to this page just like that. So before I glue it, let's ink it. And I decided to not wrap it around, and I'll show you. Let's see this side. Not to wrap it around the top, and I'll show you why. But you could, and depending on what you have on the back of yours, that might be an option. So you can attach it like this. I just didn't want to see this back here and cover up my image. But again, if you wanted to do this and then, you know, cover the back with something else, it all depends on the papers you're using. It really does. But I'm just going to put glue on the flap and just glue it down. So you'll see, super easy. So just glue on this little hinge or flap, whatever you want to call it. And I am going to kind of center it. Ooh, it definitely isn't straight. Let me just kind of adjust it just a touch. Okay, it's in there. I could have cut the paper better, but it's okay. And now it flips up just like this. And this is where we're going to add that other flap. Okay, so let's make that piece. That piece is 8 inches by 5 1/2, and that's where I used this piece. So this is where the 2 pieces come in, and then a bit if you want to like make that journaling card and some different things, pockets and that kind of thing. Okay, so 5 1/2 inches right there by 8. And if you trimmed off, this one is an 8. We're going to use it anyway. If you trimmed off too much, you know, you can get a different piece of paper out if you don't have enough. Okay, on the 8-inch side, and this is really just neutral paper. On the 8-inch side, we are going to score at a 1/2 inch. So right here, decided I better use my scoreboard since I wasn't scoring straight. I don't know if it was the score or the cut. 1/2 inch and 4 1/4. There we go, 4 1/4. All right. So let's fold on those score lines. Hopefully they're somewhat straight. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just how I trimmed it. If it had been a full 8 inches, this would have matched up. But again, it doesn't matter. It's okay. Now, let me show you how this is going to get put in. You're going to do a back and forth fold. So I guess I should show you that now. I have creased everywhere I scored it. And now I have the little 1/2 inch score line to the right. Just fold that back and then fold the left side over, and it's going to get glued down like this. And then it's going to do that fun whoop when we open it up. All right. I am going to, again, miter the corners. It's optional. And add some ink. And I'll show you that fold again. If you're enjoying this, please make sure you give the video a thumbs up. I know a lot of times we forget, but it's super helpful. And leave me a comment. Drop me a comment. Tell me what you think, what you're up to. If you are still enjoying fall crafts, if you're making a big fall journal, like, you know, what are you up to? Love to hear from you guys. All right. Again, I never know what's going to show, so I sometimes probably ink more than I need to. Okay, so let's do it again. You have the little 1/2 inch, fold it back, fold this over. Yay! And it's going to get glued down on this flap right here. So I'm going to, I think I brought mine over to the edge. You could center it, I guess. I'm going to bring mine over to the edge because I'm going to hopefully do some type of decoration like I did here. I added this ruffle. Isn't it cute? So I'm going to just bring it over, and then I also added that sticker to just make that edge look pretty too. So I'm going to bring mine over. You can decide where you want to position yours. So again, glue on this flap right here. I like the size of this one. Now, I am sure someone will comment that, oh, we could also sew a signature in, and you are absolutely right. And I love when you guys like see possibilities and bring that up in your comments. But if you want to, you could sew like a small signature right in here, okay? And that would be fun. I'm not going to today, but you could do that, and it would be nice. Okay, there we go. Love that. Now, all I did was I put a pocket down here, and then I decorated. So let's find something. Oh, the back and side cover. We haven't done that yet. Sorry, there is one more piece. And this is optional, but I love that big pocket that is right here. There's the pocket here, but then there's this large side load, and it also gives us our folio a touch more structure. So let's do that. I'm glad I looked at my notes. Would have been annoyed with myself later. Okay, you need a piece that measures 7 1/4 inches by 4 1/4. So this is where you will need another piece of paper, and I'm going to take it from this piece. If you want to do this part, again, it's optional. 4 1/4 by 7 1/4. All right. And then this piece, so maybe we'll say it's a 3-page project. This piece is the one that I used, or what's left. It was the farmhouse, but let me just go ahead. I'm going to just trim that off. And all I did here, I'm going to fold it based on the image, and it's too short, but guess what? We will fix that in a minute. We will add another piece of paper, and then this, I don't mean to confuse you guys, is going to be a fabulous journaling card. I probably need to fold it a little more like that, just so it will fit in here. But yeah, that's going to be a card, and we'll get that fixed for you here in a minute. Save that. Okay, this is your piece that measures 7 1/4 by 4 1/4. And of course you can decide which side you want up. I haven't decided yet. Probably this one with this fun faux copy stain or something on it. Now you can use whatever you want if you even want a notch, but I used this little oval punch, and it's just a small notch. This could certainly handle a bigger notch if you want to use like a big circle punch or something like that. But I'm just going to stay with that. And then we are just going to glue this here like a pocket. So I'm going to hold it by the side I want to keep open. And I'm going to add glue at the bottom, along the side, and here. I'm going to bring it in just a little. I know approximately what I'm wanting to put in here, and I don't want it to go too far. I put a tab on it on the journaling card that I chose, but that'll help it not slide away and hide. So that way when you stick something this way, it'll only go to about right here. Again, I see where I did not trim all the white off, so I'm just going to add a little ink right there. Ink covers a lot of mistakes, doesn't it? All right, so now let's pick something for this pocket. And I used a portion of these leaves. I think they're so pretty for the original pocket. So I think I will do that again. And I'm going to use my little tear ruler and get us, instead of that wavy edge, I'm going to get us a torn edge. And let's go ahead and tear both sides. And I think I'm also going to tear the top. I think I'm going to have this be the top. I don't want it to be this deep. I'm going to just, I don't know. I'll save this piece and this piece for something else. There we go. And this is just going to be my rustic kind of pocket. Okay. Easy, easy peasy pocket. There we go. There we go. All right, let's put something pretty on the front, and then we'll add something here and stick a few goodies inside. Now, I used one of these sentiments on the front. I said, welcome fall. And this one's already cut out, so we may just use it, autumn vibes. But grateful would be wonderful on here. Hello, pumpkin. I mean, there's a bunch. So I don't know. I think I want to do grateful. I do grateful a lot, but I love gratitude journaling and all the things. So bear with me for just a moment while I cut this out. I know you probably can't tell on camera, and I think I've told you guys this, but there is a little bit of a shadow around the letters of the words in this kit to help you if you want to fussy cut it. Now you could just, cut it into a rectangle or even tear it a little bit. Again, I've told you guys that, but until you have the kit, I guess, to actually play with, sometimes it's hard to know that. And I appreciate the little shadow lines to help me. I just tried to make them subtle, but I can see them. Just makes it a little bit easier. I'm not going to go inside, deep on the letters on this G here. I'm gonna have to fix that. I kind of got choppy. I got a little choppy. There we go. Just don't want the pointy little edges I keep leaving. Grateful with a little heart. Okay, that makes me happy. Now it is, for me anyway, a little challenging to ink, so I'm gonna just try to get a touch, but not worry too much about that. And I really liked the piece of what is this, like burlap or something? And I have some more of this. Now I still have a few of the little sampler kits that I put that have some paper and some fabric and I don't know, just some different things, some buttons. So if that's something that interests you, those are there's still some available in my Etsy shop. And there was a piece of this, which is what made me think of it. There's a piece. Okay. I am going to, I think I like that edge better. And I'm going to just cut this a little more narrow. And then I can save this other piece, again, for something else. Sometimes it's fun to just pull those off and get a little fun edge. This one's definitely larger than the word I chose before. Trying to decide. Get it shorter. I don't want to cover up my pumpkin too much. All right, we're just going to put it there and not worry. I think I'll like it once it's down. How does that sound? Here we go. Ta-da. Yep, I went up kind of high, but that's where it's going to be. That is where it is going to live. Don't need a ton of glue. It kind of just makes its way. Now the glue does help keep that from continuing to fray, of course. All right, a little bit on our words, our word. Ta-da! And if it kind of lifts up, I can put a dab of glue under there in a minute, but there we go. Yep, now that it's down, I like it. Let me save that. Okie dokie. And I didn't burn myself, yay. Okay. Now, one thing that I did like is I put a tab here. So let me show you real quick. These are the tabs that I used, and some of you are probably going to go, oh my gosh, where did you have these? These were actually one of the digitals in September. I couldn't help myself. I was like, I'm ready for fall. I think the last digital drop I did in September for my patrons was these 2 pages of kind of the bits and the tabs. Look at the rooster. I can't remember if I even showed these to you guys. But my patrons at all levels, digital only and on up, get at least 2 one-page digitals a month. And they're available, if you're a subscriber to my Patreon, but you can also just purchase the individual posts with the attachments if you missed out or you don't want to do a subscription. So just bringing that up because I am going to use, I think I have, they're not like all cut out, but I think I have some. Yeah, here. I have a page I'm working on. So we're going to use something here for one of the tabs. I want to use this one. So you guys know how much I love my whale tab punch. But again, not everybody has those. And these are fun to just have on hand. The other thing you can do is, make yourself some templates and then, just cut your own tabs out. You can also do very simple ones with circles and rectangles and squares. So there's lots of options. But I wanted to use these because I have them printed and they're cute. And like I said, I just love fall papers. Now, I don't mind. I had designed these where like it would be a tab like this. But, and again, I'm going to use one for whatever I tuck in here. I love that flower. I don't mind that it's sideways, but I might save it for what I put in that pocket. Let me cut out another one. Let's see, what would this one look like? Add a little yellow. And oh, and there are two different shapes. I don't know if you noticed that. This one has a little more of a curve to it. And the way I cut these out is I do what I'm doing. and I cut the outside, whether it's curvy or straight. And then I just fold it in half. And you probably saw me do that with the other one. And I just cut it like this. Okay. Fun little bits. And oh, and what's cool is one page has flowers and elements and things on the bits and tabs, and this one is just the paper. So you don't have to, again, if you don't want the flower or you don't want, you know, something. The other thing is I can turn it this way, right? And then have the flower on that side, which is what I think I'm going to do. But let's ink it. Now you do have to be careful if you're going to attach a tab not to put it on these layers. So the safe thing to do is open that up because you don't want to close up your flip out. All right. I'm going to turn my tab this. I'm trying to decide if I want to center it with the tree or center it with the page. I think I'm going to center it with the page. It might look strange, but that's what I'm going to do. All right, a little bit of glue right there. Get it the way I want it. And then we can open it up and glue it down. Okay, fun, fun, fun. All right, and see, so if you accidentally glued that to this piece or this piece, you would no longer be able to open it. Now that was kind of where I was going with that. Okay, and this kit also has these words, which are some are just like grateful, family, love you, fall, but then there's also the ones that are a little more like affirmations and reminders. You are seen. I believe there's goodness in the world. I choose to trust. You are not alone. So what did I put on the front? I put grateful. Okay. So I think I am going to put somewhere on here. I think I'm just going to put I choose to trust. Now, I think I want to tear it since I tore this little pocket. So I'm going to be careful and hopefully be able to get it off of here. This would be a good sheet if you wanted to print like on sticker paper or something. So lots of things. Okay. Let's see what this looks like. If not, we'll use it somewhere else. I was just thinking it might be nice. I don't think I want to cover up. It's a little long. Now I could also, oh, and I have the stamps from this kit too. So cute. Maybe we want a stamp. Because I could do something like this, or even when you open it up and you get back here, you know, we could have I choose to trust. I'm going to save that for a minute. And maybe what we'll do, what stamps do I have cut out? There's a whole fun page. Look at the little camper, the little cowboy hat, a teapot, a pumpkin, some corn, all these things that I just think are precious and I love. Which one do I want to use? I think I'm thinking a vertical one is going to fit in this space a little bit more. Oh, I'm going to put it down. You can turn this into a cluster, you know, have at it. It would be fun. Now, I'm going to put I choose to trust inside. So how about right here? I'll just do peace and see if it fits. We'll try. And this is printed on the 90-pound cardstock. So again, it'll tear, but it's not like it's just the copy weight paper. So sometimes it is a little bit hard. And it tore uneven and took a little bit of the pea. A little bit of the pea. I'm just gonna put it there anyway. Sometimes you just gotta start gluing things down and it'll be okay. All right, now I'm gonna open this up, and the way I did my little ruffle, we'll do something similar because I still have some more of this fabulous peach ruffly ribbon, is I just cut a piece and kind of stretched it straight. It tends to curl. I need to cut it like right here. The correct, or what I think is the correct length. Now from the front, obviously when I do this, you only have a partial ruffle. If you think that looks strange, it doesn't bother me. I like it. You could always, you know, don't glue your pocket closed, but you could just put a ruffle here if you know, don't want to put it up here. But I don't mind, and it doesn't bother me that it's like that. But I realized after I did it from the front, it might offend. I'm kidding. I don't think it's offensive, but you know, somebody might prefer it a little different. Now I'm going to be careful not to, you know, glue this closed, and I'm bringing it in just a little, and I'm going to be careful. I always tend to want to go really fast with the hot glue. And then oftentimes, you know, what I'm working on is not straight because of that. But, so it is better to work in small sections. So, you know, when I get ahead of myself, you know, do as I prompt, not as I do, because sometimes I just can't help myself. And I sometimes regret it, sometimes it works out. Okay, and then pretty sure I have some more rickrack. Yeah, I just put a piece of this neutral rickrack just to, you know, just to cover up. It doesn't have to be, it's a junk journal, but that's stitching. And then on, did I glue my pocket closed? No. Or my thing, on this side you don't see it because of the way the paper is over. It's just a little tiny touch. Okay, so again, just real quick, we will cut a piece to the correct, and again, if it's too long, it will make it a little hard for this to close, so I am gonna trim that off. Okie doke. I think this is okay. So again, I'm gonna try not to get ahead of myself with the glue, but the temptation is there to just like go crazy, go wild. Do you guys have things that when you're crafting, you know, okay, slow down, take your time, you'll be happier, and then you still go, and just do it anyway? I don't know if I'm the only one that's like this. Okay, because I mean, I know a lot of people say, oh, but I'm such a, not me, they're not talking about me, but themselves, you know, I'm a perfectionist, I have to find just exactly the right thing, and da-da-da. And I think back, here I go, I didn't wait, back in my scrapbooking days, I was a little more of a perfectionist, even though we would tell each other it's okay, there's no mistakes, there's two sides to every piece of cardstock, you know, we would definitely encourage each other not to get hung up on little things. But I think I was definitely much more of a perfectionist then. I took it very seriously, you know, preserving my family's and my children's childhoods and our memories and, you know, all of those things. I'm going to go ahead and glue this sentiment down. So now it's very freeing to just kind of go for it and not worry. Now, I did put, I grabbed one of the tags and I actually just cut out, what did I do? I think it was a lantern again, maybe. Yeah, a different lantern. I just did a fussy cut from the tag. And I'm thinking I may do that with this mason jar and then use those for something else in a little bit. So let's just kind of cut this out. I don't necessarily want the tag shape on there. This might look strange with the flowers. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going to come in a little bit closer. That's okay. All right, just to decorate the front of this journaling space here in this folio. Okay, there we go. So it's not plain when you look at it, but again, I want all that writing space. Okie doke. Now, I have cut out one of these, and I cut out one of these. Oh, let's fix this, because it's going to go in this pocket. So fix it. All I mean is let's just even it up. You don't even have to, but I'm going to, in fact, is it not wide enough? Here's a piece. There we go. We are just going to do a Franken paper and extend the back of our little card. Just like this. And I may even put like a piece of washi tape or something on there. We'll see. But now the front flap and the back flap are the same size, because I didn't want to have to fold over my cute little bench. That's the word, bench. Okay, so on the back, I think that looks, pretty good. On the inside, let's do something decorative, whether it's, a word, or let's see if I have some. This is the washi tape that's close by. It's kind of the right colors. This is a little different, but I'm thinking maybe that blue and that blue. What do y'all think? Let's try it. Why not, right? Whoops. Well, I like a torn edge, but I really didn't want to tear my washi. Okay. Okay, I'm going to let it tear, but I'm not going to leave it like that. I'm going to come over, and I'll trim that off in a minute. I'm going to let the washi do its thing and tear, because I like that edge. And then we can grab this piece. I'm trying to decide how I want to do it. I think it'll look just fine like that. Yeah. And then I'll stick those to my ongoing washi thing, or I'll use it on the back here in a second. We'll see. Now, I didn't need that at all to hold it together. The glue was just fine, but for it looking pretty, yeah. Just simple, right? Just very simple little touches. And this is going to look fabulous here. I'm going to put this in the pocket with it. There we go. And then let's see, I may have to trim this down. Yeah, I think this is too long. I'm going to, we'll just use our tear ruler again and tear it just a smidge. See how tall we. All right, I have an idea because it's what I did with the other one. So I think I have enough of the paper that I used too. So I'm going to just ink the big lantern. I love this. I could have printed on the other side, and that would have been a nice touch, but it fits in here. If it's too tall, I'll trim it just a touch. Just gonna go, make a little bit of a wavy edge. Okay, so that's in there. Now I'm gonna work on the one that is going to get tucked in. I had this piece from a cover of a book, and look how vintagey and fabulous it is. So we are going to glue this journaling card to this, And then we'll have the neutral side. We're gonna have a little bit of the green as a border, and we're gonna have the neutral side for journaling space. I love when I decide I'm going to, you know, gut a book and use the book pages and or use the, you know, the book itself as a journal, the cover and everything. I try to honor it, I guess, by using as much of it as I can. There we go. And I'll save this, you know, the extras, and use those as well. I think I got this small enough that it will still fit in my pocket. So I will save those. I'm putting those with my pile of book page. I may even save this. Wow, I love that. We're going to put that somewhere. Maybe even on this journaling card. Now, here's the tab that I want to use. So let's put the tab, let's ink around here gently. It's old, but I don't think it's too fragile to use the way that I'm using it. Yeah, let's put this on here. I just love that. What does it say? It says Gallery of Fashion. Oh, I remember the book this came from. Yes. Okay. What a wonderful, wonderful piece. Love it. Oh. Okay. And now, before I put the tab on, let's bring our folio back. It's going to hopefully still fit. Ah, did I make it too tall? No, it's going to fit. I'll have to kind of baby it a touch, but it fits. It's not a problem. Okay, this is where I want the tab. I put my finger where my little, which was approximately. Doesn't have to be perfect. So we're going to put it right here so that it kind of sticks out of that little thumb notch. It's kind of fun when you remember to do that. I don't always remember. And with a tab, I didn't necessarily even probably need the thumb notch, but I didn't know what I was going to put in there when I first started designing the folio. Now, if we wanted to, we could put a word, should we? Let's do that. How about, well, it's here at the bottom, so we're going to do You Are Not Alone. And sometimes when I think about whoever's going to receive this, if they want to use it like for a gratitude journal for them, you know, folio or journal for themselves, they could. And then the pieces like this, maybe that have different sentiments or something that are removable, they could give, you know, pay those forward. They could give those to someone. So I think I'm just going to put it right there and it'll look fine. Again, it tore a little strangely, but it's okay. Love it. Okay, let's see what it looks like. And I had out some of my stickers that I've been kind of hoarding to use. They're, you know, the fall themed ones. Yeah, but the tab, it's much easier to get in and out. Ugh, look how cute. Oh my goodness, I love it. Now these that I've had for a few years, and I pulled out anything that I thought was sort of fallish. There were some Halloween ones I didn't pull out. But I'm just not even sure. Maybe a little sticker on here or on here. Oh, maybe the carrots, because I have the corn. Let me put the carrots about right there. Cute, right? And it brings a little bit of darkness. Okay, I got to use a sticker. I've really been trying to not hoard my stickers. Okay, let's do a really quick show and tell. This is the one that I had made before I came on camera. And this is the one we made together. So we have a card. I really do like that washi with the blue and the bench. This was, and I use this one all the time, Silver Flower Dream from IB. There'll be a link with a coupon code and stuff if you are interested in looking at washi tape. But that, I think that was really pretty. And then this one flips up like this. It opens like this. We put a sentiment. We have a pocket. And then we have this fabulous vintagey journaling card, which might be my favorite part. Love it. Whoa. Now, the first time I slid it in there, it slid right in, didn't it? All right. And our ruffle. I hope you like them. I hope they make you happy like they make me happy. And until next time, have a great day. Again, don't forget that thumbs up. Thanks, ladies. See ya.